So first throws in the morning, no warm-ups or anything, just like usual. So what you see is what you get. Alright, so right now we're going to use the mini flight sport, the 10-inchers, the little bitty guys, the teeny tiny ones that it doesn't want to focus on, but that's fine. Keep it focused on the background where it's important. Okay, so for starters, I'm doing what's known as a half spin throw. The knife is gripped by the blade and it completes 1/2 rotation on its way to the target. Yeah, that would have been like right about here. A taller guy would probably get him in the stomach or the diaphragm. Not a fun spot to be hit by a throwing knife. All right, now for some just good ordinary no spin. We're gonna start out with the 10-inchers from 7 feet here. Right here is going to be a no spin overhand, a no spin sidearm, and a no spin underhand. So as far as I know, this next throw, we came up with it. It's a 3/4 rotation throw, and that can be proven with another video. It involves a terrible strain on the wrist. There's an upward wrist flip at the last second to cause a 3/4 rotation. There it's doing 1.5 because it's being thrown by the handle, but there's also a terrible strain on the rotator cuff because the follow through involves stopping the movement with the shoulder. Now finally, we're gonna do some no spin throws. "14-inch pro flight sport." And then right here are going to be some no spin underhands, just a few of them. They start drifting off to the side, but the further back I go, it's harder for me to control the transverse rotation on them. Let's start at 10 feet, go from there. Got him in the foot from 13 feet right here. Notice with the no spin underhand throw, you're fighting gravity, so you have to lift your leg and really swing your arm to get it to stick in at longer distances. It's a very difficult throw at longer distances. Here, I just want to go back over 3 throws that we looked at earlier in slower motion so that you can see the mechanics behind it. It's really just a simple overhand throw. Half spin throwing is probably the easiest type of throwing to learn if you're a new knife thrower. So now we'll see what happens when we use the Bowie axe throwers. One having a better tip than the other. The other, you can see it's more rounded. But the velocity these are being thrown at, we don't need to worry about them bouncing off from the tip. One of the rare instances of a throwing knife with a handle slab on it. I wouldn't get them in sets of 3. I get them in sets of 2 at the very most, just because when you throw that third one, there's a good chance it's gonna come in and just go boom, and just hit that handle slab and take it right off, and it's gonna mess with the tip. It's a mess. It's a mess. So these are ideally designed for when someone has multiple target faces. So if someone has like 3 log rounds and they're all 3 of them like suspended in different spots, they can throw 1, 2, 3 like that. They're not really designed to be all thrown at the same target if they have handle slabs on them. Historical information there. This knife just hit the other knife that's in the board. That's the only reason why it didn't stick, is because it freaking hit the other knife that's in there. So someone needs to work on their aim. Notice that that was exactly what I was talking about, and then it happens. One thing I do want to mention about the Bowie design with the handle slabs is it is very front heavy, so it has a tendency to drop in flight. The sure balance. This thing really sticks in. It's got a lot of weight to it. Now, it's got a really wide, I'm going to try to throw half spin, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to choke up a little bit on it, and I'm going to use a hammer grip with my thumb so I'm closer to the balance point, because I refuse to throw knives flat like this. I do not like throwing with the plane of the blade. That's how you break a blade. There we go. That was kind of a wonky throw, but this one, because of how wide the tip is, it's a lot harder to throw half spin without throwing it flat like that. So you can see there's a second or two where I'm kind of stalking or staring down the target, and then I throw. But this type of rotational throwing, where you're throwing from a set distance every time, has very mundane origins in the American Civil War. The troops would basically throw their Bowie knives at trees out of boredom, and that's essentially where it originated. It's a low release, but you got it in. This would have been his ankle. Shitty spot to get hit with a knife, I'll tell you that. Takes a long time to heal because your socks rub up against it and shit. You can see that was under rotated because I didn't throw as hard. That would have been a shoulder shot right up here. And just FYI, the grip that I use for my overhand throws, usually, depending on the thrower, but with this one, I'm using just the wraparound grip. I'm not using the hammer grip, I'm using the wraparound grip, okay? Actually, I should back up a little bit because this one's bigger. This throw coming up here is in slow motion because it illustrates what an ideal hit is. The knife hitting the target basically at an exact 90-degree angle.